welcome everyone. First of all, thank you for attending the Victory of Light Expo this weekend. And also thank you so much for stopping in to see the panel discussion about fairies, gnomes, elves, and other helpers led by Barbara Baxter. Barbara is a familiar face at the Victory of Light Expo. She facilitated the Angel Panel Workshop in the fall of 2008 and conducted the Fairy Pixie Elf Workshop in the spring of 2009, where, among other things, she coached us in finding our inner fairy. Barbara has been the MC and auctioneer of Fairy Windows, a fundraiser for children's art scholarships. Barbara has presented papers at the International Humor Conference in Luxembourg and at Purdue University. Pretty impressive, Barbara. She was the keynote speaker at the State of Ohio Library Association Convention. She's done many television and radio interviews and was recently on assignment assisting with recorded radio interviews for NPR affiliate. Today, Barbara is the MC and facilitator at the Victory of Light Expo's Fairies, Gnomes, Elves, and Other Helpers panel discussion. She is joined today by panel members Paul Chodron Davis, who's an attorney, animal communicator Ann Baumbach, psychic Lai Uberud, and Christologist Maria Celeste. Please join me in welcoming this esteemed panel to the Victory of Light Expo.
Thanks so much, Victor. I appreciate the introduction. I'm very, very glad to be here, and I'd like everybody to take a nice deep breath. Let's get ready for this interesting discussion. Deep breath in, and out. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, and then we want 3 loud ha coming out. So on the count of 3, we're going to do 3 loud ha, straight from the diaphragm. You ready? 1, 2, 3. I knew I'd make you laugh. Now, there is a quote from the Tooth Fairy. Consider this. The Tooth Fairy teaches children they can sell body parts for money. Okay, we had another little laugh. Now we're all ready to settle down and get to work with our distinguished panel of fairy experts. And I'm going to have you help me welcome the panel, because I would like to quote something from James M. Barrie's Peter Pan. Do you believe in fairies? If you believe, clap your hands. That's a pretty great panel, don't you think? I think it's a wonderful panel. And what I'm going to do now is switch to the other microphone so I can walk around a little bit. So if you'll excuse me, I'm going to scoot down here. I'm going to walk around now because I'm sure there are people who have their own stories to share, or you have some questions, and if you do, just raise your hand and I'll come right over to you. Yes, okay.
About 10, 11 years ago, I was on the Isle of Lewis, which is off the northwestern part of Scotland, and it's pretty remote. There's this big stone circle there that's second only to Stonehenge. But anyway, and that's what I went to see. But I was in a it's remote to begin with, but I was in a very remote section. And I went up on a hill, and it was quite a climb. And much to my surprise, I found a miniature stone circle. And I was just like, oh my God, like this belongs to the fairies. It was just really teeny, it just was so magical. But I'm just wondering if any of you have come across stone circles by the fairies here in the United States, or what you know about them.
Thank you so much. So the question is, have any of you come across a tiny fairy stone circle? Because this lady had an experience of that same nature in Scotland. And have you, all right, would you like to tell us?
In New Hampshire, there is something called the American Stonehenge, and they have exactly the same. And the other one is in Copenhagen. As you know, there is the famous mermaid there. It's also like that. And if you look at it, you can see the fairies there as well.
Thank you. And I was in northern Michigan and went down to a beach, and it was a cold and windy day, and I was looking, and I also found a stone circle there that was really tiny, and it wasn't like someone had built it and then the sand came up over it. It was specifically built out of the tiniest stones I had ever seen. And yeah, I just had to stop and stare at it. So I understand what you're saying. Thank you. Someone else? Yes.
I used to live in San Antonio, Texas. I live in Charlotte, North Carolina now, but I went up in the hill country on a retreat, and we were at this stayed in this old stone house, and then we went out to look at these people's garden, and they had built a place to meditate and had hay bales and a circle, and we were all about to walk into this circle and meditate, and then we looked up, and there were thousands. I thought at the time they were fireflies, but it was during the day, and just thousands of them swarmed in the middle of this circle and lit up. And they just came from nowhere, and then they were gone. And now that I think about it, they didn't really look like fireflies, so I don't know what they were.
Maybe we should show you this picture. There you go, Drew Sticker. We should. Can I take the picture back and see if they looked anything like? See if they looked anything like this picture that two of our panelists have seen. Oh, just like that?
And there were
Thousands of them. In a ball. I wish I'd been there. Wow, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Okay, so thousands. One more question. Who's got a question? Yes, sir. Oh, we have an answer, man.
For those people who love to see them, call them, love them, and believe in them, they come.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, you know that. I think that will make you get a sticker. I think that that's a wonderful way to end our discussion today. And thank you very much, and thank you for coming to the Victory of Light Expo. I'm Barbara Baxter. Please come back again. Thank you.